Hello. This is a lockdown wrap-up and book haul because I hate making both, so let's combine them into one video. So I'm going to start with the ebooks and tell you what I have read and been reading. So I've done a video about this because I think it's just a gorgeous book. The Testament of Mary. This is a phenomenal little novella, and I've talked about it in another video. Please find that if you want more information about that book. It's also been turned into a play. This book was given away free by the writer on YouTube, the wonderful Ben Sanders. You can't really see the cover, but there it is. So I'm all over that. The Demon in the Tree. I adore Ben. He's a really cool dude. Of course I'm going to read his book. And because Titan, the publisher, sent me this to review. Titan sent me a book to review because they're not sent, because of the virus, they're not sending out, because of what's going on currently, they're not sending out physical copies to review, but Firefly, this is a series that's taken me a long time to love. Like, I love some of the TV show, but overall, I didn't like the film. But actually, it's a very interesting little book, and I'm gonna have to reread it because context, but there we go. Another one for the haul, The Four Before Me. This was given away by the writer free because of what's happening. I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into this. It looks like a really good kind of mystery crime type thing. I like that kind of novel. Of course I'm going to download it, and you're giving it to me for free, so we'll see what happens. Another book from Titan, Eden. Another book from Titan, which is by the same writer of a Netflix series, which I've not watched. So effectively, this was with the fallout of a ruined world. And there's an area within the world called the Virgin Zone, which is basically untouched, the decimation of the rainforest, global warming, and the team that go with it, and what happens when they're in there. This is tense. It packs a really strong environmental message, which is such a refreshing thing, because it's not done in a clumsy way. It's not done in the, well, the environment's shit, so we're going to ram it down your throat. It's obvious, but this is done in such a subtle way because it's character driven, and genuinely there's some bits in this book that make you leap out your skin. It's a thank you, Titan, for getting this to me. Plus, if you follow me on Instagram, Book Geek, this came with ivy, plastic ivy wrapped around it. I had to laugh, so there we go. Looking Glass, another book by Titan. So this is the same writer that started my working relationship with Titan, because I requested The Lost Boys and they ran out of copies and they put me on the list. I adore these. Basically, the writer does fairy tale retellings and sequels and stuff like that, and they're very once upon a time-ish. This is good. She's done The Red Queen and Alice, but this essentially goes into more of the dark fantasy element, so it's Alice in Wonderland kind of with a dark fantasy. I adore her writing. She's so interesting to read because she's not scared to just go there, and that's refreshing, I think, in this type of book. Titan sent me The Bone Harvest. This is amazing. Basically, unnatural things, some mystery, some intense darkness, and some moments where you think, holy shit. This is a dark book, and it's the story of people that are pulled into a really weird situation. I love pub sheets because, I mean, how cool is that? But yeah, this one is basically, it's three strangers take on a nearby plot and they go notice unnatural things, and everything goes into that. And I inhaled this. I've been reading a hell of a lot lately. This is a good book, and one I wholeheartedly recommend to anyone who's interested in this kind of dark, intense, gritty novel. The Seven Daughters of Eve. This is a non-fiction. So to give you an idea, there was a genetic bottleneck after the Toba catastrophe for the human race when we were reduced to about 15,000-ish individuals, give or take. The 7 women that most of us can trace our ancestry to. So there's like a whole thing, and this book is fantastic, and I encourage you guys to look up Toba and all of this and this sort of genetic bottleneck of the human race when you realise, like, the Native American population is actuality descended from about 70 people, which is quite surreal. In like you can take apart the human. I'm not going to ramble because I'm obsessed with genetics, full stop, and it's kind of a passion project. Seven Daughters of Eve. My library is amazing. The City and the City. This has been turned into a series. This is a science fiction. Essentially there's another city. This is a crime novel with a science fiction feel. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Would I read it again? No. to be really blunt about it. It did what it needed to do, but it didn't make me go, wow. That's the only way I can describe it. It was enjoyable. I loved it, but it was like, I'm never going to revisit you. Definitely worth reading and definitely one to look into. I've had the Spartacus novel in the airport edition for years, so I reread that because I found the sequel. At last. I've been looking for this, and this is going to bug me forever now. Look. Different sizes. You would think airport editions would be smaller. Great historical fiction. We all know the story of Spartacus. Ben Keane is a great writer. He's a great historical fiction writer. I adore his voice and the fact that I've basically read most of his work, and I've been looking for this for so long. Thank you to the charity shop that had this, Cancer Research. And as you guys know, I found a book that I loved from yesteryear, The Imperial Light. I got its sequel again after many years. It takes place within the same world, and you know what? Strong fantasy with strong female leads existed before 2010, and it's not exclusively a YA thing, people. These are phenomenal, really underrated, and she's only written 3 fiction books since 1994, which I think is really sad. And she wrote a non-fiction, though, about her struggles with mental health and depression, and I'm like, now I know why you didn't write much, but I had all 3 of her novels on my bookshelf as a teenager in paperback, and I don't know why I got rid of them. I really do. Again, size problems. This is going to bug me forever. You know what? I'm just happy to have refound her work. So do check out the Dark Fowl and Imperial Light. But yes, so as always, I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your lockdown.